For a long time, we have been waiting for a very good video assist monitor which can work. And many of the recorders came, but they didn't work very professionally on set. Like they were overheating or lagging, or they were getting stuck. Many times you need to turn it off and on. So there were many problems with all the new recorders which were coming. There was one good device called Pix 240i, which I have been working with, and it was a very good one. And it was dying because they are not making it anymore. It was either qtake or Pix. There was no in-between thing which can work on professional sets properly to do the good playback setup. So now the same company which is doing qtake have made this Ovide KOKO video 10-inch monitor which can work with 4 camera inputs on the same time, and it's a robust device. I have worked with this on many shoots, and I know that this is reliable, and they listen to your feedback very quickly and respond to that. I had some issues and I told them, and they fixed it in their newer firmware versions, and it's going to be a full in-depth review of this device, what it can do. And there are some things which it's limiting on, like frame by frame playback is only available if you are doing the playback with the keyboard, but if you want to do it on system, it's not yet available. But as per them, in next firmwares they are thinking to have that in this as well on the screen. It's a 10-inch display which is touch screen. First of all, if we look at it, it's very good device, very well built. And then at the back you have a V-mount plate to put the V-mount plate on, and then you have your SSD stack where you can put your SSD. You have DC in with 2-pin LEMO cable if you don't want to put your battery on. You have a LAN connector, and then you have a power button. If you press that for 3 to 5 seconds, it should turn on and turn off. After that, you have 6 SDI connectors. First 2 are only inputs, and then the next 2 are input and output. You can select if you want them to be input or output, and then the next 2 are only output. Next to that, you have the LEMO connector for audio input and output on the same time, which comes with a 4 XLR connector on the other hand, which are 2 male and 2 female for input and output on the same time. And then you have a headphone jack and USB-C. And then in the box along with the monitor, you have a hood, you have a LEMO 2 XLR connector for audio input and output, and then you have a AC power input adapter as well. Now let me just turn it on and show you what we can really achieve in this monitor. So this is KOKO video, and to turn it on, I will just go on the back on the power button and I will long press it and it boots. Once it boots, you can see it goes to multi-view or automatically. I will go on view 1 for now, and I will tell you all the settings of routing after this. So basically we have 4 major layouts on our screen. So this is the top bar, and then you have sidebars, and then you have bottom layout, and then there is one more thing called tools which I can enable from here, and you can see the tools as well. And in tools you have a LUT, focus, false color, zebra, waveform, histogram, vector, and spot meter. So I'm not gonna go through everything about this in this video. Why? Because basically I wanna focus on the playback and routing and all other things. This is what I believe it's not gonna be used, and I will start with the top bar first. So on this corner you have inputs and outputs. So basically if I go on my inputs, we have SDI 1 as input, SDI 2 as input, and SDI 3 is selected as output. And at the moment I'm having a third input running in my KOKO video, but it's not detecting it because it's set to out, and I did it intentionally to show you guys. So if I click on it, it will go to input now, and now if I go back and I switch my view to multi, it switches to 4. But in case you have only 2 cameras and you are seeing a quad view, whereas view 1, view 2, and these 2 are having no video, to avoid that and to show only 2 cameras, what you can do in multi-view is you come here and select SDA3 as output. Now it automatically switches to 2 views. This is one thing. Next thing is you can select this as input and this as input, and then you have SDA 5 and 6 always set to the output. Basically you can choose any view on those, like let's say view 3 and view 2, or you can choose multi-view on that. So if I go out now and I take out from my SDI 5, it will give view 3 only, it will not give multi-view, but for now I will keep it on multi-view. And then you have PSF removal and pull down removal. So PSF removal is basically, there was a glitch going on in KOKO video, and I contacted them and they told me to enable it, and then that there was a color cast kind of thing happening on my screen, but it was not on the SDI out, it was only on this screen, so that's not a big issue to be honest. But in case you want to avoid that, they told me to enable that, and that might help. And then the pull down removal is in FX6. Once I connected my camera and it was showing the drop frame, and I suppose this is for that. At that moment when it happened, once I tried it, just kind of fixed the problem. Now we are done with routing, and then after that you have SSD status. So basically if I remove my SSD, you can see it's saying not detected, and then if I press it on and it is inserted, you can see my SSD there. Now it's not showing the status. Why? Because this SSD is not compatible with this, but it does the job. The one which is recommended by Ovide KOKO video is Samsung's Evo. This you can I will put the link in the description. In case you want to buy this, you can buy it. And next to that you have a firmware button shown, and then you have a lock button. If I press it on for long, it will be locked now. Now if I do anything on my screen, it's not gonna do any action. So I will come here now to unlock it. There you go, it's unlocked. Settings are where you have the system info, which is shown here as well, so I can go and see the brief system info and everything. And then you have the factory reset option here. If I want to execute the factory reset for some reason, maybe at some times like it acts weird, you really need to do the factory reset, so you can really do that. So I will click on cancel. Abort option is basically when you are recording a clip and it was not supposed to be recorded, you can click on abort. I will show you after, and it will delete the clip automatically. Then you have format SSD. This, how can you format the SSD? I will click on format, and there you need to write format, and then you click on format and it will format. But for now I will not format it. We'll go back. You have date and time, which you can choose. You have your display settings, where you can choose the brightness of your display, you can choose the contrast, and you can choose the backlight. After that you have audio settings, which is pretty important for everyone. So for audio settings, basically it's having input and output options at the back, which I showed you, and it's having this cable, and with the help of this cable you can have input and output on the same time through the XLR cables. Now how can we do the settings here? Basically, let's say sometime so how can we make sure that the audio settings are right? So basically, first of all is the headset settings, which is the jack out. So if you took jack out and you're not hearing it, you can come here and volume it up to be able to hear that. And then you have inputs, and on input you have option to select SDI, like through the BNC cable from camera, or the analog. The analog is gonna be the one with XLR, and you can connect it at the back and then select here the analog, and with this you will be able to record the audio on view 1, view 2, view 3, view 4, all you can select them, and that one thing will be synced to all the cameras, so you don't have to worry. But for now I will keep it on SDI. So these are the two options. You can take audio from your BNC cable input, your SDI cable input, or you can take audio from the XLR connectors as well. Then analog gain, if you want to set it, you can put your headphone jacks and see really how it should be, left and right, and then you have your output. So when you play back a multi-view setup, it wanna send only one view's audio out, so you can select like view 1 or view 2 or view 3 or view 4, whatever you want to. So these are all the audio settings. You have network settings, where you can connect your Ethernet out and you can really do the programming and use Elgato Stream Deck to do the playback and everything, but I haven't tried it yet, so I can't tell you anything about that. Then you have recording options. So basically, first of all, you have the recording mode, you have UHD, and you have 1080. And then how can we tell our Koko to take a trigger from which camera? It's same in record. You go to trigger, and in trigger you tell it if it's gonna take from Arri, Sony, or Red, or you want to keep it off. So basically I can tell it anything, so I will keep it on Arri most of the time, because even these cameras which I'm using for now are Arri cameras, so I will keep it here. And then after that you have codec settings. These are the versions of ProRes 42. So basically you have ProRes 42 Proxy, which is the lighter version, and then LT, ProRes 42, and ProRes 42 H key. We are done with settings. And next to that you have these 4 blocks. If I was in 2 view mode, it was gonna show me 2 blocks here. So basically here we have the settings of recording the camera. So in case we have a take, we'll have 3 cameras but only 1 camera is recording. Let's say one camera A is rolling and B and C are not gonna roll. You can come and disable here. You see that? And once I click on that, you will see a line. You see that? There comes a line around it if it's going to be recorded or not. So this is where you can tell your Koko video if it will record a camera or not. If any of the camera is disabled here, you can see it's grayed out on top. And then the other thing is, once you're going to record it, I will record it now. It's rolling only camera C, not the other cameras. But if I go here and select all of these and I click on record, now it's rolling all the cameras, 3 cameras. So this is how you can select which camera to roll. Next to that you have your temperature bar, basically, which always will be there. And then you have a full screen view where you can disable all the displays on side and just keep it like this. Now let's go to the sidebars. On the sidebar, first of all, you can close it and open it on the both sides, and it basically is the naming convention of all the cameras. So basically A and C are here and B and D are here. So if I come here and I click on roll, so in case I want to name a short property, I can already do that. And now this is pretty much it about the sidebars. Yes. And then you have this bottom bar where you're not seeing much options. Why? Because these all the options which are grayed out are for playback mode. So if I go to playback mode now, you can see all the options now. And now if you see here, this turned green. If it's rolling, it will turn red. If it's on standby, it will be white. And if it's playing back, it will be green. So now we have all the controls about our playback mode. Now in the bottom bar, you have first of all this button to roll and cut. Then you have a playback button to go to playback mode. And then you have selection of more views. So you can be on view 1, view 2, view 3, view 4, or in multi. So I will go to multi now. And if I click on roll, it's gonna roll all the cameras. And then I will cut. And now I will go to playback mode. There you go. In playback mode, it's showing me only 1 view because I have selected one. So if I go on multi, you can see it's playing back the multi view now. And once we enable playback, there are some options which are showing on top bar as well, which I will go through now. I will glue on this stopwatch option, and you can see it turned to 2 and 4 and 1. So this is how it basically goes fast forward. We're not really seeing what's happening here. To understand what it is, I will go on play mode settings. This is what is happening there basically. So when we are clicking on our speed, it's going 1 time, 2 times, and 4 times only. And if I click on reverse now, it will be reversing here. You can see this is reverse. It is here as well. Then you have all or one. What is all or one? So basically, let's say you took a take. Let me take a take. So I will go on view 1 only, just to show you guys, and I will record only view 1, nothing else. And I'm gonna record this, and I'm gonna do 2 or 3 actions in front of the camera. So one is this, and then the other one is gonna be like I'm coming in the camera. Then the third one is basically when I went and touch my camera. So these are the 3 things which I did in my video. So once I cut and play back, what's gonna happen is it's having all that. So I can put multiple ins and outs. So what I will do is I will just, you see it's playing in the reverse because reverse is selected. So I will go on disable. So this is the first section which I did, right? Yeah, so I will put in here and then I will play, and this is out, and then I will keep playing. So now you see it's playing only that. I will go further, and this is the second action. So I will put in and out, and then I have the third option where I'm going to the camera. So let's say here I will put in and out. So these are the three things. You can see three green lines on this now. So if I go to play mode now, it's saying all or one. So once it's on all, when I play back, what will happen is it will play all the segments of the clip. You see that? Yeah, these are three. So 1 and 2 and 3. But if I keep it on 1, you will see what will happen. It's gonna keep playing this part. You see that? So this is how you can choose if you want to play all the cues and ins and outs on the clip or only one. And in case you want to switch from this to this and keep playing this, you can just scrub on that and then play it, and it will keep playing that part now. And if I want to go to that, I can just scrub, pause, scrub here, and there you go. Now it's gonna keep playing this part. So this is how you play back basically. And now once you're rolling, let's say I am rolling now, and I want to put in and out and markers. These are the three things. So if there is a take where director is gonna go for like 10 times action, okay, one more time action, one more time action. So if a director is doing this kind of stuff, you keep putting marks on that. Put marks, marker, 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 marker. And once you play back, you can see your markers. So basically, maybe I'm not gonna be able to show you guys, but there are blue markers on my clip which I did at the end of the clip. Now after that, you have option to put ins and outs. So basically, if I come here and scrub back and I put in, and I go here and I put out and I play now, you can see it's playing only that part. Then I can choose my view 3 as well, just to show you what I chose. And after that, you have these two buttons basically to go to ins and outs. So if I click on this, it will go to out point, it will go to in point. So it's simple, just directly to go to in point. After that, you have marker buttons which are gonna be enabled once you are recording as well. But here as well, you have in case you want to put any marker on the clip on a certain point. So you can see there is a marker now. And then if I put one more marker, these two buttons are to jump between markers. So the previous marker, I will go, and to the next marker, you can see. So these are those two buttons. Next is the files. Now, one very important thing which I want to tell you guys is basically if this is in full screen mode, even if I keep clicking on this, it's not going to show me anything. But if I enable it, you can see it's there. So make sure once you're clicking on this, you're not in full screen mode. So that's done. And if I play back now, it can play back, and I can go through the clips as well in case I want to play a specific clip. So you can go to previous and go to next from here. So this is all you have in playback mode. So this is pretty much it about KOKO video, and I hope this video was helpful for you and it give you a good view about what it can and what it cannot do. And in case you have any more questions about it, put them in comments and I'll be more than happy to reply that. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one.